GM Blockchain Days participants, Marcin here, co-founder of Redstone. It's a pity I cannot be together with you in Turkey as I love the country, but it's a big Sunday here in Poland at 7 a.m. in the morning, so I'm recording it the same time you're watching it. And I'm going to talk today about Oracle extractable value and how to solve the $200 million liquidation leak. First, a few words about Redstone. We've been the fastest growing Oracle on the market, raised together over $22 million from reputable investors and best angels. We are the primary and official Oracle for BlackRock Biddle. BlackRock is the biggest financial institution in the world. They manage over $10 trillion of assets. And Redstone is the main Oracle for Securitize, BlackRock Biddle, Apollo iCred, and basically we support real-world asset expansion and tokenization efforts. Redstone recently has also announced becoming the primary oracle for Mega ETH with our new product Redstone Bolt that updates on-chain every 2.4 milliseconds, which means it's over 400 updates a second. Now think about it. Count to a second in your mind. 1, 2, and throughout that time, we've updated on Mega ETH at least 400 times the price peak. It's crazy, but this is the efficiency you have to keep up to create the decentralized finance infrastructure that is capable to compete with traditional finance systems. And we are a team of 41 people, very chilled and always very hardworking to deliver the best solutions for the builders. Why do you need an Oracle in the first place? So Oracle delivers data to dApps for smart contracts execution. Currently, it's mainly market data. So it's volume, interest rate, market cap, and actually over 95% are price feeds of assets, mainly crypto assets. So you can ask a question, what is the most utilized price feed? So let me tell you, it's ETH USD. It's about 95% of all the smart contract calls that goes to ETH USD. And reason being, Ethereum is still the home for decentralized finance. And there is a very versatile layer 2 ecosystem where ETH is also the major asset for DeFi at least. So Redstone is the fastest growing Oracle. We've got over 150 clients supporting over 80 chains and secure $8 billion in value. Some of our clients are Morpho or Venus in lending markets, in leverage protocols category, Gearbox, Delta Prime, Curvenance. Staking, restaking, we are the major Oracle for proof of reserves around Lombard and Babylon, so the Bitcoin staking narrative. EtherFi, Path, or Renzo are all our clients. And we are also having a big presence in yield protocols such as Pendle, Vida, and so on. Okay, going to the merit. What is Oracle extractable value? Before we go into that, you have to understand that speed of information delivery matters a lot in crypto. Here is a picture of a person that you might recognize. It's Athenian courier PPDs. Essentially, almost 500 years before Christ, he ran from the site of the Battle of Marathon to Athens with the message of Nike, so victory, before promptly collapsing and dying. So he did pay the most expensive price, so his own life, to deliver the information from one place to the other as fast as possible. And that's the reason right now we run marathons on, many occasions all around the world. A modern example can be a book, Flash Boys. It's a book from Michael Lewis where he explains a history of a group of traders that put a 1,300 kilometer of fiber optic cable, so regular cable, that costed them $300 million. It's a lot of money. And they put it only from Chicago to New Jersey in the United States to reduce latency of their trades from 17 milliseconds to 13 milliseconds. So now look, you put 1,300 kilometers of fiber optic cable worth $300 million just to gain 4 milliseconds with your trades. And it actually matters because you can front run your opponents. So you can see like how they trade and put the trades before them and extract value. That's the reason in traditional finance and crypto, the speed of delivery of information matters a lot. I also recommend other books of Michael Levis, for example, Big Short or Going Infinite about Sam Bankman-Fried, Moneyball, and so on. The guy is a really good author. Okay, in DeFi, you have liquidations. Let's look at the scenario for shorting BTC. So imagine you go to Venus, an example, or Aave or Compound, and you use your USDC to borrow BTC. In the very beginning, the BTC trades at $80,000, and essentially you are shorting Bitcoin. So you expect Bitcoin to drop in the price so that you can give it back as a loan and take back your USDC. So what if things go otherwise? It happened, for example, in December last year. Many people were shorting Bitcoin in that flow when it was at about $80,000, but then it went up to $100,000, sorry. And many of the positions hit the liquidation threshold. So they were insolvent and had to be liquidated. That's what happened in DeFi at large. Just to show you Venus Oracle extractable value for 30 days in 2024, you can see just for Bitcoin pair, it was almost $1 million of liquidations. For ETH, it was 400,000 and so on. So the numbers are pretty large in liquidation gain. How liquidations work? So there is a transaction from an Oracle relayer to update the price on chain, and then that new updated price can hit a liquidation threshold for someone, right? If the price of an asset goes up or goes down. So then the liquidators send their liquidation transactions straight after the Oracle update. So you can think of a sequence: Oracle update once, and then transaction of liquidation twice. The issue is everyone wants to liquidate because there is a bonus for that. So liquidators usually work with MEV bots and searches to ensure their liquidation transaction is included first, so they bribe them. So there is inefficiency in the market. We created a flow where we introduce a cross-chain abstraction. On the right-hand side, you have Atlas transaction structure. Atlas is a structure of which you can think you put a transaction in a transaction. So you have a regular transaction on EVM, Ethereum, Arbitrum, Base, and so on. And then within that transaction, you create another transaction that is the liquidation transaction. So the main principle is instead of creating two transactions, update and liquidation, you try to put the liquidation within the Oracle update to reduce latency and ensure there is no any problem in the flow. So both price update and liquidation are being packed in a single multi-core transaction, so it can be processed atomically. And this composed transaction works like every normal EVM transaction. So there is nothing special about it from the perspective of EVM to execute it. Therefore, the mechanism could be applied on any EVM chain independent of the existence of MEV infrastructure. So it's a very, very elegant solution that is supporting all EVM blockchains. You can go into a bit of a detail into the bidding process. On the right, you can stop the video recording and read it. And you can also type into Google Atlas transactions Fastlane, because Fastlane is a company that we cooperate with for that particular architecture. But let me put it high level. So every update interval, a price data is first offered on action. So whenever there is an update from Redstone, this price feed is offered in a quick auction with Atlas. If there is no interest, the update proceeds in a standard way. So imagine there is no liquidation, so no liquidator wants to bid and buy that price update. So it just goes on chain without any interruption. But if there is a potential for liquidating of a position, then there is a very quick flush auction for bidders, and the highest bid to pay the highest price for the privilege to get this price update. His liquidation is packed into a transaction sent on chain, and both by the auctioneer model, so with this liquidation, and there is another transaction straight afterwards with Redstone for extra redundancy. We send the second transaction just in case the first one fails for whatever reason. We haven't seen it fail almost ever. But it's just for oracles, you cannot take any risks. So we were adding additional layers of redundancy. And now the kicker, the best part. The whole process lasts up to 400 milliseconds. So it's less than half a second that this whole auction takes. Because in crypto, as I mentioned, the speed of delivery of information and the whole process should be as quick as possible. So looking at the previous example, instead of having the one and the second transaction, you can think of it as a transaction from Liquidation Oracle updating the price and the transaction of liquidation altogether. Now, the flow of the OEV implementation is described over here, a step-by-step flow. So a user, for example, holds a position of one BNB, which is the major gas token on BNB chain, previously known as Binance Smart Chain. And the collateral is worth for $600, let's say at the current time, and the user is borrowing 400 USDT. So he's essentially longing BNB. So he hopes that BNB appreciates in value, so his collateral, and USDT is stable, right? The stable coin, so that value is going to be constant. Oracle from Redstone updates regularly the ratio between BNB and USDT, and anyone can bring that price on action. Fastlane operates an action mechanism, allowing anyone to bid for the right to update the price and backrun it with the liquidation, as before explained with Atlas. And the transaction of the highest bidder is executed, and then both the price update and the liquidation is triggered. In the case there is no bidders, the price is just updated regularly on chain. What are the benefits of Redstone OEV? This is the only OEV product that increases the security of the protocol. This is actually counterintuitive, so let me explain it to you. There are no possible bugs because Atlas is an abstraction and there is no need to update any code for the protocol to utilize this OEV. So imagine Aave, Compound, Venus, Morpho, and also any other protocol over there. They can use Redstone OEV without zero code changes because no one likes code changes because they impose the potential risk of a bug over there. So there is no need or for additional security audit or whatsoever. It does not add too much time to the whole flow because the auction proceeds right now with 400 milliseconds and majority of the blockchains have block time longer than 1 second. So it's like marginal. It doesn't matter that much. And actually we can bring down that time to, as far as I remember, 20 milliseconds if it's needed, right? So we can still optimize that if that would be the case, for example, for Mega ETH or some other monad, very high performance blockchains. There is no possibility of bad debt. Why? Because always after the liquidation transaction, together with the price update, we deliver the next update that ensures if there is any problem with the liquidation, there is another update on chain available for the protocol. And one thing that people don't understand is that any liquidator can deliver price feed on chain, effectively making deviation threshold for the push feed as low as 0%. Why? Let me explain. Usually, Oracle's Redstone as well, Chainlink as well, updates price feed on chain within a specific deviation threshold. So we check what was the last update on chain for BNB USDT. Let's call it last update was $100. And then deviation threshold is, for example, 0.5%. So when the newest available price off chain deviates at least 0.5% from $100, then we are going to update it on chain again. So if the price of BNB goes from $100 to $100.50, we are going to send the update on chain. So you always accept there's this 50 cent discrepancy between what's live on chain and off chain. And if it's an asset worth $100, it's not a problem. But Bitcoin, for example, when it's worth $80,000, this 0.5% can be actually pretty bigger in terms of dollar value. And now, because any liquidator is incentivized to send the transaction on chain whenever there's a liquidation possibility, we efficiently create 0% deviation threshold because whenever the price feed is going to cause anything like liquidation, it's going to be updated on chain anyway. So we have like additional guardians in form of liquidators to send the transactions on chain. Okay, and that's it for the OEV. Wanted to also say a few words about Redstone token that launched in March. It's red, a pretty interesting ticker. It is used for staking to secure Redstone actively validated service on EigenLayer. And all of the stakers receive rewards in red and also Eigen tokens. So we are the only project that Eigen dedicated a large amount of Eigen to distribute among our stakers for those rewards. We also run Redstone Miners program. So if you would like to get involved in Redstone and be one of our miners, go to our website, redstone.finance, join our Discord, and then follow the instructions over there. We have a vibrant community in France, in Poland, all over the world, also in Turkey. So you're very much invited. Yeah, and that's all for today. I wish I could be with you in Turkey and answer any questions, but feel free to follow me on Twitter, Marcin Redstone, as on the right down hand corner. And my DMs, I think, are open, so feel free to try to message me or our team on Discord. They're always responsive. So, wishing you a fantastic conference and thanks a lot.